Hi, this is Kristen Nicholson, Career Prep Facilitator for South Central Michigan Works. This presentation is on creativity and innovation. Do you have the motivation it takes to find your creativity and innovation? All businesses use creativity and innovation to keep up with the global worldwide market and the technology and the advances in our economy. Following words can be other examples of what creativity means. You can conceive it, an idea, you can design it, discover, invent, set up. With innovation, basically this means you are taking what's already in place and you're making advancements. You're improving it to make it meet the needs of where you are today. Think about the car industry, how in the 1950s a car was a certain way. In 2011 it has definitely modernized. We have OnStar, we have cameras that allow you to see your rear view behind you when you back up. Satellite radio. You constantly want to be keeping up with the times to bring business to your establishment. It's very competitive. So employers need employees that can think of new ideas, creative, innovative ways to bring the customers to them for their service or their product. Ways to make innovation work in the workplace is hopefully you're going to have an environment that's going to encourage individual creativity. They may design a climate where individual creativity becomes collective creativity. What that means is they may have you work with a group of different people. Together as a group, you are going to come up with new ideas. They also may have you work just solo on a task where you yourself are going to have to be individually creative to come up with that idea. When you actually take your idea and apply it, that is where the whole innovation idea comes through. And again, businesses use innovative ideas to create that competitive advantage over their competitors. Some basic assumptions about creativity: whether or not you think you're creative, it is something that isn't born within everyone. It just depends on if we experience it and tap into that creative side. We definitely can expand on this if we put in the effort. And again, that goes to a lot back to motivation. Are we motivated to tap into that side of ourselves? Keys to creativity. The first one is being able to have faith in yourself. You have to believe in yourself and your idea, and you have to get rid of that little person that's on your shoulder saying it's not good enough or it's not going to work. Also, utilizing the observation. Sometimes as adults, we are very literal in our thinking. Sometimes we want to have that wonder of a child. We have to have that investigative aspect of it, getting all the facts. Final point is asking a lot of questions. Again, that goes with the facts. Don't just assume things. Get lots of questions, answers out there to make that idea even larger. Ways to foster creativity: again, live without expectations. Don't set so high of expectations on yourself that you fall short of those. Ask all questions. The only question that is a dumb question is the ones that you don't ask. Don't take things personally. Sometimes you may have a great idea when you present it to other people. They may say, yes, it's great, but do this, change that. Tweak this part. You cannot take that as a personal attack on your idea. They are probably going in with the assumption that you want to make this idea as the best possible, and that's how they're saying it could be better. Another suggestion is to do everything you love. You want to be able to love everything that you do, and again, if you love what you're doing, you're going to have more of an investment into it, and that product or that idea is even going to be better. Like I said previously, if you're having difficulty with being creative and innovative, sometimes all you need is a little bit of motivation. Motivation is doing what it is you should be doing, whether you feel like it or not. How many of us are motivated every day to get up and feed our children or go out to work? Maybe we don't feel like doing it, but we should be doing it. There are 5 steps to successful motivation. The first one is to identify the benefits of doing the task. You want to picture yourself getting the job done, whatever it is that you wanted to complete. How's that going to make you feel about yourself? A lot of times you may feel proud, accomplished, a sense of satisfaction. What will completing it enable you to do next? And what's the general payoff for you? Sometimes people may see something that you have done and be interested in hiring you for that service. Step 2 is to set yourself a goal for the task. What are you going to get done and by when? You want to be realistic and gentle with yourself. You don't want to go back to those high expectations again, so you may fail and not follow through with that. Also be aware of being a perfectionist. Not everything is going to go perfectly. You have to plan for errors with that. And finally, do what needs to be done to get it done. Don't procrastinate. The third is make an agreement with yourself. How long are you going to spend doing the task? What rewards can you give yourself for completing the task or stages of it? If you would like to obtain your GED, give yourself a plan. I'd like to complete it within 6 months. Then break that down even smaller. To complete that goal of 6 months obtaining your GED, I'm going to study 1 hour every day, 5 days a week. If I complete that studying 1 hour every day, 5 days a week, I'm going to go to a movie, have 10 minutes of quiet time a day. So do little rewards. And they don't all have to be financial rewards. You can say encouraging words to yourself. Give yourself a pat on the back. Have some quiet time. Take a walk. Play with your dog. Play with your kids. Eat a Snickers. Something that is going to be a reward to you. Number 4 is to create a plan. So go back to imagining you've completed the task, then work backwards to plan a strategy for getting the task done. Brainstorm step-by-step actions that you need to take to get that plan done. Number 5 is to reward yourself. So again, think of your agreement with step 3 and enjoy some rewards. Becoming self-motivated is going to empower you to express your creative and innovative ideas in the workplace. Becoming motivated helps you take control of your life. There are basically 2 ways to approach life. Either you are in control or your life and others around you control you. Which is ideal for you? Most people, upon teaching these classes, want to be in control of their life. Obviously, there's going to be situations that are outside of our control, and we have to let some of those go. But sometimes we are not motivated, so we just allow things to happen around us. Visualizing your goals is a very important concept as well. Others can try to motivate you. However, if you don't motivate yourself, you're never going to follow through. The more that you visualize what you want, the more that you see the future story of where you want to be, your motivation tends to increase with that. So I would definitely keep thinking daily, what do you want? What do you want out of life? Where do you want to be? Are you on that road to get to where that destination is? With this, learning to view life positively comes in. People with positive self-concepts look at their successes and believe they are responsible for them. They also believe that although they are responsible for their failures, the outcome can be affected by events, things, and people outside of their control. They may have a glass half full attitude. People who view life negatively, they view the world in the opposite way. They credit their success to luck and rarely accept blame for their failures, thus never taking responsibility for their actions. They have more of a glass half empty attitude. On the screen in front of you, you will see a glass full of water. How do you see it? Half empty or half full? If it is half empty, I encourage you to change that. The only person that can change how you view life is you. Everyone can succeed. You have to be realistic about your personal contributions to success or failure, and you'll know how to improve yourself. Most importantly, you must believe that you can improve. Another important thing is, again, to have faith in yourself. With this, positive energy is another huge thing. If you're surrounded by people who are risk takers, goal achievers, positive people, you can feed off their positive energy and feel like you should do something positive too. Same concept if you surround yourself with negative individuals who tend to be critical, not set goals. So you want to surround yourself with people that are where you want to be, and you're more apt to follow suit with that. You have to be able to think for yourself. You cannot constantly pay attention to what other people say about you. The constant need to please everyone usually brings us down. It's never going to happen. You have to think about what's good for you and your family. Procrastination. This is something that a lot of people do on a daily basis. When a person procrastinates, they are making a conscious decision to put off something that they will have to do at a later date. Usually, life becomes stressful because of procrastination. You want to identify why you are putting something off. Ask yourself, am I putting it off because I'm just not good at it? Or am I putting it off because I'm afraid I might fail, or because I'm afraid of what might happen? After you discover the real reason for your procrastination, find a way to get the job done that's in line with something you do like to do. If you're still having problems, invite someone that you respect to help you finish. A big reason people procrastinate is for fear of failure. So you need to turn off that little voice in your head that says you're not good enough. Again, having faith in yourself. We're all human. We're going to make mistakes. We're constantly going to be making mistakes. The important thing is to learn from them and correct them and not keep making the same mistakes over and over. So get rid of those negative thoughts, get up and do it. Stop making excuses and get it done. Self-esteem is hand in hand with happiness. I think most of us in life generally have a goal of being happy. I don't think anyone wants to go around being miserable all the time. And self-esteem is usually a direct correlation with that. Self-esteem is the experience of being capable of meeting life's challenges and being worthy of happiness. Think about how you feel. Do you feel worthy of it? I have met people that I've worked with, even in my own friends and family, that have the idea that I'm not worthy, that I deserve to be where I am. And I want to challenge that. Everyone is worthy of being happy. But again, you need to take control of that. And it starts with a positive attitude and building up that self-esteem. And sometimes your self-esteem is a direct correlation to your relationships. If you surround yourself with positive people, your self-esteem is generally going to increase over time. But if you're surrounding yourself with those negative influences, that self-esteem is going to continue to stay low. You may have to sever some relationships for a time being. I'm not saying to get rid of them completely forever, but you may have to cut off some of those ties so you can build yourself back up and then invite them back into your life, and you will be strong enough to then not let them bring you down. Ways to increase self-confidence: facing your fears. I have a friend who's deadly afraid of snakes. Just recently, she did a photo shoot with a boa constrictor wrapped around her. Facing her fears increased her confidence. She said, I could do it, I did do it, I'm alive, I'm okay. So facing your fears is definitely something that can help you increase confidence. Forgetting your failures. Again, we're people. We're constantly going to be making mistakes. We can't hold on to those. We have to let those go. Know what you want and how to ask for it. A lot of times we may have feelings that we want to express, or saying things to our boss or our coworkers, but we keep those inside. If they don't know that you want something, how are they going to be able to help you with that? An example, I know of a situation where a position opened up. That position was filled and no one even knew the position was available. That person was hurt because they weren't considered for that position. The feedback I gave that individual was, you need to express that you were interested, if anything does come up, that you'd be willing to venture out in different areas. So again, knowing what you want, and you have to ask the correct people or let them know of what you're thinking. Again, reward yourself when you do succeed. Rewards can be, again, something not financially going to be a burden to anyone, but that pat on the back. Talk to other people. Get to know their opinions, the ins and outs. And don't be defeated if something doesn't happen right away for you. You have to keep going back to that drawing board and keep trying. Eventually something will smooth out. In closing, I'd like to leave you with a quote by Henry Ford. Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you are right. You may not be able to complete the task that you want to at the first try, but if you have that mentality that you can do it, you will continue to try and you will succeed. You have now completed watching the presentation. On your job search logs, in the results section, please put the name of the presentation and give yourself a half hour. Once you've completed presentations, you will need to go into the Service Center, ask to take the Employability Skills quiz. You will take the corresponding quiz that lines up with the presentation that you have just viewed. Once you've completed all 10 presentations and taken the corresponding quizzes, and also did the in-person information technology class, you will have earned your Employability Skills endorsement. Remember, this is an endorsement to your WorkKeys test, so you will want to make sure that you complete all 3 actual WorkKeys tests to get your whole National Career Readiness Certificate. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns about these presentations or your hours, please see your career manager. Thank you.